What's up guys, Dylan here for Premiere After Hours. It's been a hot minute, and by hot minute I mean a day. Yesterday we uploaded a video. I unboxed the ProMaster Axis mobile gimbal for mobile videographers, and today the well-awaited review of the DJI Spark as promised by our May 4th video. I'll put a link to the video somewhere over here floating in space. Check out that video though, it's pretty cool. I have had the experience, or the opportunity to experience this drone over an entire month. I received it May 1st, that's when we started filming the May 4th video, and today is May 31st. I have an entire month's worth of events where I was able to throw it in certain situations, play around with its limitations, testing what the factory states that it can do versus what it can actually do. To make matters short, I will cut right to the chase. So here it is once more, the DJI Spark. As you can see, I've put on the optional propeller guards. When you do that, it really beefs this thing up. It makes it look pretty good. The image and video quality of this product is amazing. It does 1080p video at 30 frames per second. I'll be bringing up some example footage here, and it also does amazing still images, 12 megapixel sensor, roll the stock photos. I was amazed with how awesome this drone was. It just blew my mind. The second thing I'd like to talk about pertaining to the DJI Spark is the setup. The setup of this drone is probably going to be one of the least easy parts of the process. The first time trying to set it up, it took me like 25 to 30 minutes. You have to download their app, to scan a bunch of QR codes, and some of the QR codes are all scratched off from shipping and they're hard to read. The camera doesn't want to understand them. You have to keep trying to connect to the controller's Wi-Fi and the drone's Wi-Fi. The setup part is going to be the most time consuming. But once you get that part down, flying it is pretty easy, especially when you have the combo pack, the Fly More combo with the controller. It's like a video game, honestly. You have your little phone screen there, and you see what the drone sees, and then it's all a matter of the pitch and the altitude raising and lowering. It's just very simple to use from that point on. Another part that would be time consuming, but this time a little bit difficult, would be the palm controls. This drone in particular was very much marketed that you didn't need the remote, you didn't need your phone, that it could be used with just your hands. Easier said than done, especially on a sunny day when everything's really bright, the light's really reflecting off your skin. I've noticed that the front sensor here has a hard time detecting where your hand is, and it's also has a hard time telling you how far away you are from it. I mean, I've held up my hand to the camera here, and I've tried to get it to the LED lights to recognize my hand, and I had so much trouble trying to get it to do that. While it is a cool idea and a cool selling point of saying you don't need a controller, you don't need the remote, I would pretty much buy one anyway. I mean, if you're trying to use this for moments where you really want to capture it, try and waste your time using your hands, you're going to miss the moment that you bought this drone to capture. Now that we've covered the setup aspect of it, let's talk about how the factory rates the drone versus what real life will actually give you. As far as flight time goes, it's rated at 16 minutes. I would say overall that's about right. Sometimes I've even had, I think, a little bit longer. I've been led to believe that when you have the propeller guards on, you actually lose a little bit of flight time because it adds a little bit more weight and more pressure on the drone. It doesn't get as much juice out of it. I've also flown it without them once or twice, and I'd say battery life is pretty solid. Occasionally you will get a warning saying that your battery needs a new firmware. My recommendation to you would just be, if you know you're going to be doing something important later on, like a shoot, if you have a big shoot coming up, just make sure all the software is up to date, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're trying to shoot a movie or a video and you have to stop and cancel everything to try and update it, because I think you need to be connected to a Wi-Fi source to download the updates. The DJI Spark is rated for flight range of 1.2 miles away. This, I would say, as far as real-life application, might be a little bit misleading. Of course, I was flying it in a high-altitude area where there's a lot of mountains in the way. However, I've also flown it in more level playing fields and seen similar results. Right when it gets to about 1,500 feet away, closer, I've sometimes gotten it to 2,000 feet away, the Wi-Fi signal will just cut out. and my screen will go black, and I'll just see like a frozen image of what the drone last saw, and it'll say remote control signal weak, Wi-Fi image transmission signal weak, or drone disconnected. And especially if you're a first-time comer and you're reading what the box says and you think you can fly this, you know, to grandma's house down the road, and then all of a sudden the screen goes black and it says no connection, that would be very scary. However, there is a return to home button, which is very convenient. As long as the drone is still in the air, when you click that, it should remember where you took off from and just fly back to you, with varying levels of accuracy. Sometimes it's a few feet away from you from where you originally launched it, but you will still have control of the stick while it returns home, so you can adjust for that accordingly. Another really cool thing about this drone, and this is kind of like a cousin to the palm control, is the active track function. Now what this will allow you to do is if, say you and a friend, or just you actually, want to record a scene but you don't have another cameraman present, this drone will allow you to record a video of yourself or another thing with no person operating it themselves. You can fly the drone up, trace yourself, hit go, and then you could start running, from left to right, forward, back, and it will follow you. It'll pan with you if you're running this way, pan with you if you're running that way, and if you're running forward, it'll follow you. And it works if you're going to be doing videos about riding bikes. So if you're a BMX rider, you could follow yourself on a trail. If you're a skateboarder and you want to get some cool shots, that'll allow you to do that. Or if you're just a person like myself, a nerd who likes to do some fan films of Star Wars or anything stupid like that, you can get some cool aerial shots of you and your buddies just hanging out doing some cool stuff. A feature you guys are going to really love is the sport mode. The sport mode is this really cool function on the remote. It's probably in the menu on the phone too. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but it's this, on the remote there's just a little switch that says sport, and if you toggle it over, it will unlock speed, of which is just surprising from a device this small. I don't know exactly what the factory rating of sport mode is, but I was able to get like 32, 33 miles per hour on a normal day, no wind or anything. So I would say that's pretty good. Almost 35 miles per hour from something this size is really cool. And make sure when you're doing sport mode, you put on the propeller guards if you have them. You can do it without them. I would not recommend it. The first time I tried sport mode, I lost control immediately because I underestimated how fast this thing would go. One downside to using sport mode is that the video kind of unstabilizes a tiny bit as you're doing it. And I think that just at the speed that it's going, it's hard for that motor inside the gimbal to keep it steady the entire time, so you will notice some shake. I would say if you're trying to do some footage in sport mode, it might be a little bit unusable. However, if you're doing a scene where you have an airplane or some kind of like jet, and it's supposed to be like flying really fast, I'm sure you could get away with cutting to a scene of this flying in its sport mode. I'm sure that would work perfect for that, that situation. But overall, if you're going for that smooth kind of sailing experience, sport mode will not deliver that to you. Well guys, this has been a fun little test here, getting to play with this for the past month and really being able to throw different situations at it, see what it's capable of. And I think I'm ready to give you guys my final verdict of the drone, and I'm sure you might have some differing opinions, or some of you might totally agree with me. I would say for professional application, I would probably rate this around a B plus region. But if you're just entering the drone market and you're just trying to see how well it would fit with you, what you're trying to do, what kind of projects you're trying to do, I'd say solid A for image quality. I mean, the only way you're going to get something better is for a drone double the price. 4K right now, yes, 4K is the future, and even 8K might be the future down the line. But currently, 1080p still looks really good. I mean, I've shown you some example shots. You can't beat that, and I don't see the need, if you're just trying to enter the market, for spending the couple $100 more to get the 4K. I mean, I just don't see it. Plus, it's a bigger drone. So this is perfect for if you're going on vacation, you can just pop it right in the thing. The other drones, yeah, you get a little bit more features, but you also get bigger size and bigger hassle. Well guys, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the review. I really liked making this video and playing with this thing the past month. And I know you might be wondering now, you've been bragging about this thing, where can I get one? Well, stop on down to either our North Hills location or our Monroeville location, and we will hook you up with one of these guys. Really fun, and I think you're gonna love it too. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Premiere After Hours.